Yeah.
Hey, this is this is real estate. You're talking to three real estate agents. This is a home buyer seminar, but we're really selling houses here and financing houses in Shannon's case. As we get ready for the call, I asked Shannon. He starts off with a good story. I've got a good story to tell. I know Patricia has some good stories. Shannon, what's happening in the real estate market? Tell us about this buyer you're working with.
Yeah, no, I think it's a very interesting story. I have a client that referred by a friend saying that, hey, you know what? My family have been living in this one house for over 35 years and they've rented this whole time, I guess. And it's the family, cousin, sister, it's pretty much everyone in this big house. And owner passed away. And now the owner's significant other owns these properties and want to sell them off. So she's like, hey, listen, I love you guys. You guys are great, but we're going to sell the property. So you're more than welcome to put your offer in and I'll accept yours over anyone else's. But that's just what it is. So, it's kind of a story of, hey, look, even if, they weren't looking to buy, but now they don't want to move. So they want to buy it. And it, kind of reminds me of, hey, even if you're not looking to buy, in these situations, you might have to just get yourself buyer ready, ready for something to come. I guess that's one of the downsides of renting is, you don't own it. And so someone else has your home, in their control. And if they don't want to keep it anymore, they're going to give it away somewhere else. And, you know, as of you, hey, yeah, you might be there for a few months, 6 months, a year, whatever the case is, especially if they're month to month. It's only a matter of time until maybe, you got to go. Obviously, in California, you have a little more. You can't, it's not tomorrow, but still, it was crazy. I'm like, I didn't believe this family's been living there for 35 years, renting. And yeah, they don't want to move. And now they're talking to me and, hey, how do we all get qualified? It's me, it's my dad, my mom, my cousin, right? I'm meeting everyone later this week to kind of see if they can qualify for this house.
Mhm.
But I'm pretty sure that they didn't have this in their cards this year when they were outlining it. But very interesting stuff, and it just showed me, hey, even if you're not looking to buy, it's always good to at least get yourself in the position if an opportunity were to present itself.
Yeah.
So yeah,
How do you do
that's
that?
what.
Who do you call if when you get in position to buy a house?
You can call me for sure. And this is the thing is their case is very unique. Everyone gets paid very differently. Someone is a delivery driver, does Uber. Someone has a job. Someone does this, does that. So that's the other thing, because rent's been so low. Everyone can afford to do these creative things and live comfortably. But obviously, when it comes to qualifying, now we got to put these pieces together. And yeah, something like a retail bank can't put the time in, because hey, everyone's situation is very different. No one knows everyone's situation, as long as they live there, but they don't know everyone's internal finances. As crazy as that may sound. So yeah, but I like it. It's a puzzle. It's something that you got to work on. But I always tell people, look, if you're motivated, I'm going to fight for you. And there is going to be a solution. There is going to be a solution, for sure. If you're not qualified now, there's something you're going to be able to do. But again, with time constraints, the property is going up on market, I guess they said pretty soon. So they got to really, we're going to see this weekend if they qualify. But yeah, always be ready. Always be ready.
Always be
That's
That's
a
ready.
really good point. I mean, the other thing is what I've been seeing lately in terms of being ready is lenders are still asking for a cross qualification. I have a buyer that I submitted an offer for, and there was a multiple offer situation here in Paramount. And the listing agent is asking us to cross qualify with their lender. So that is also part of being ready, right? So you don't have to get ready if you stay ready. So you have to be ready and your lender to provide any documents to the lender that the listing agent is using, because they are performing the cross qualification these days to confirm that the buyer does qualify for the financing, for the purchase. And lender to lender, they have these conversations, and that could determine whether they end up selecting your offer or not as a buyer.
Such a good
yeah.
point. Both of us, I had the experience of a family member who, is considering moving out of the area to buy a house because it's so expensive where we live, and yet they've been looking in the area as well. And I knew they were looking, but I don't think they could qualify, and I don't think they're really looking to buy. I think they're trying to get an assessment as to how far away they are. They called me to show them a property, and one of the things I'm kind of debating, I need to call the husband and say, listen, if you're serious, you need to get ready, because if you find the house you really want, you haven't met with the lender. In this case, he's self-employed. And in this case, he just launched his new business in the last 6 months or so, which is a whole separate series of potential problems. And I'm sure they can be worked out like everything else, with enough money, good enough credit, big enough down payment. You can work all those things out. But if you don't, you can't work them out. And so I said, rather get yourself excited about a house and get your wife excited. I thought it was a classic case of a Zillow photo where I drove up and they're there, the two of them with the stroller with the baby, and I can imagine if they found their dream house and then they found out they couldn't qualify, that would be uncomfortable. So to Shannon's point, get qualified. In Patricia's case, get qualified with a lender that's good. Otherwise, your offer is not going to get considered.
Yeah, no, 100%. And to that point about the cross qualification, that's happening more often than not. And yeah, you do have to get your ducks in a row. A lot of people, and I guess when it comes to, hey, if you're really going to look for a house, dive right in, because some people, I just want you to look at my pay stubs, and, I don't want you to check my credit, which is fine. I don't have to check your credit. That, I can give you some ballpark numbers. But one of the things I do notice is a lot of the agents that I work with too, they don't even take the client seriously until you get qualified, right? And I even had a client say, after you send that pre-approval, the agent, really answers, within 1 or 2 rings before it took them. I don't know how long it took them, but she's like, hey, when you sent that over, she really took me seriously. And, now we're seeing houses and doing this and that. And I guess the agent was just really, again, not really taking their calls and just, I don't know what to the extent that was, but just from the client's feedback was, hey, before talking to you, it was, really get hard to get hold of this person. And after we got qualified, because I call the agent and I say, hey, look, this is where they're at. They're really good. They're on it. Their FICO score is, 795. They have the 10% down, and they're like, okay, great. Well, I'm going to send the properties now and get going. And the client really appreciated that. But yeah, everyone takes you more seriously when you do get qualified. And now I'm even seeing some agents ask me for pre-approval letters just to show houses. That's another thing I'm getting that more and more is, hey, I need this because I can't even show this house unless someone's, I don't know if you guys are getting that often, but I'm getting that the last few weeks.
Well, what drives that is you can't get a commission unless you sign the representation agreement before you show the property. If you're going to go through that, you have to have a discussion. Nobody's going to sign anything without a certain amount of relationship and discussion. And as a real estate agent, why would you invest that kind of time? Now it's not just showing the property, but it's all that. You might as well make sure they're qualified.
That makes sense, because I would have the problem of agents showing the property, then calling me saying, hey, get them qualified. I want to put an offer on this house. Right. And I'm getting a lot less of that now. That's probably why. I'm getting more of, hey, can I show them property now? Can you tell me? I wasn't getting that last year a lot. I was getting, hey, we're at this house, Shannon, can you get them qualified? And I want to put an offer in tonight, kind of thing. Now the conversation's more of, hey, can I show them property now? Around what price range, you tell me, which is great. I mean, I think that you probably save more time and energy, because you don't know how many times I've been in a situation where the agent would just show the house. And I get it. Some of them, they get the Zillow leads or they get other leads or something. They just want to show the house first, get to know the person, and then see if they qualify. I kind of get that strategy. I understand it, but it does take a lot more time, because half these people can't even afford the house that they went to go see. Mm-hmm. And then they kind of get discouraged, and then, just this downward spiral, I guess, before. But now I'm seeing a lot more agents be a lot more smarter about it and say, hey, look, get qualified first, and then I'll start answering your calls. So yeah.
I find it interesting. In other parts of the country, it's very common. Agents buy Zillow leads, and they're paying basically to have a customer come to a house that's not yet qualified. Oops, I lost my spot there. And start the process. And I feel like, it's different in LA. Traffic's different, parking's different.
Yeah.
But I would never want to just meet some stranger. I mean, I guess when I was a brand new agent, but also in those days I lived like in a suburban area. It was different. But here in LA, it's a little more commitment to go drive and show a property than it is when I lived in Diamond Bar. And as a result, agents are less likely to just meet a stranger. They want to at least know who the stranger is and know whether they're qualified. And
Yeah.
I listen to these top agents in other states where their sales prices are lower, they do a lot more volume, and they get a lot of business from strangers off of Zillow ads and other sources like that. Here in our industry, I think the opportunity is that people want to work with people they know. They don't, even buyers don't want to meet strangers at a house. It's a strange house too. It's a strange neighborhood as well. So I think those are opportunities that if you're an agent and can be professional, say, listen, by law, to get paid, I have to get you to sign this representation agreement. And if we're going to do that, I need to know that you can qualify. And let's be professional about this, just like anything else.
Right. As a matter of fact, you and I have I have an offer on your listing, and the buyer came to us. They saw the listing online and they wanted to write an offer right away. And I said, well, have you even seen the property? And the response was, well, yes, I've seen the outside and I've seen the pictures, and that's good enough for me. But there's a lot of things that can happen if a buyer has not seen the property on the inside. They could say that, it wasn't the floor plan they thought it was. Maybe the way the kitchen is designed, the floor plan is not going to work for them. So I insisted on meeting them at the property so I can also meet them face to face and make sure that they're pre qualified, talk to the lender, show them the house inside and out. And now that I know that they've seen every square inch of the property, now I can write the offer and confidently submit it so that it can be considered. So, as a buyer, even if you see the house from the outside, you still want to look at it on the inside.
For sure. I mean, I have a spreadsheet of my offers. I always check and see, have they seen this other property? I wouldn't consider an offer unless they have, because they're buyers who like to tie up 5 properties and go pick the one they like best. The problem is by the time we've accepted a contract in open escrow, there's a lot of work involved. It's waste for the seller too. So it's it. My first listing I got, I had a very experienced agent fool me. We got into escrow, and then his buyer walked. And I discovered he'd lied. I'd asked him. He'd lied. The buyer did not go to the open house because we had tracked it. But I learned the lesson. If a buyer doesn't see the house up front, then the odds of them closing are just lowered because they're going there to look for something that's a problem maybe. So
Right. Absolutely. All right. Well, let's switch gears. And I wanted to share a new listing that was just listed today. This property is located in Riverside County, and the address is 1726 Country Fair Court in San Jacinto, Riverside. So this property is a pre-foreclosure, and the seller is motivated to sell. It's a it's a 3 bedroom on title, but there is an extra room downstairs that can be used as a fourth bedroom. So this is could be used as a 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath. It has a Tesla solar system. It also has Tesla backup batteries. So if there is a power outage in the neighborhood, the home will still be powered up by the backup batteries. 3-car garage, and it's a really great property. I should have some interior photos by this weekend, and we're looking at scheduling an open house in the next 2 days too, probably by the weekend. But it's in a
nice.
really nice community. It's located on a cul-de-sac, and this picture here is the park that's right down the street. It's actually called Potter Park Ranch neighborhood. So this is Potter Park Ranch, and then the community there is Potter Park Ranch neighborhood. So
What's the purchase price?
it's listed at 455,000.
Yeah, you could probably get down payment assistance program with that
Right. So it's
for
perfect
sure.
for a larger first time buyer, a larger family, a first time buyer. It has a lot size of over 9,000 square feet. So
Wow.
it has a really large backyard. It's the largest on the block. And I think that this would be great for a first time buyer or maybe two smaller families. This is really close to the San Jacinto Mountains. So as you exit the front door, you have views of the mountains right in front of you. It's a very quiet community and it's not too far from Saboba Casino. So if you like playing the slots or the tables, you can hang out. That's literally at the front door. So that's a screen, that's a picture of opening the front door, and that's what you see. So you can
Wow.
have this mountain view every day.
Hmm.
Really nice property.
Wow.
And it's available. So if anybody has any questions, please reach out to me at 323-365-9909. And if you'd like to get a quote on what your monthly payment would look like, then Shannon can help you out with that as well.
Yes, definitely. I was actually trying to look up what CalHFA rates are today. I know interest rates still are relatively lower. They haven't really climbed up as high as I thought they were going to be. I think CalHFA right now, you can get a 6% for the down payment assistance program. Obviously, if you're going regular FHA or conventional, you can get something a lot lower. But yeah, that's where we're at right now.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay, Patricia, thank you. And you see holding it open this weekend or?
Probably by Monday because there's some preparations that are underway right now. So I think the property will be ready by Sunday afternoon for showings, or Monday would be a first open house. Monday afternoon.
Call Patricia for details.
And those Tesla charging stations, that means your utility bill, right, is probably going to be very low.
It's a lot lower.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, so let's wrap up here, I guess, because we're coming up on time. Shannon, if someone get a hold of you to get financed or other information regarding loans, what's the options?
Yeah. Give me a call, 661-317-8484, or my Instagram, FUND Fund with Shannon. Best two ways to reach out to me. Give me a call and we can definitely talk about your scenario, get you qualified within 24 to 48 hours. At least you can get a full loan estimate for free. How much you qualify for, what the interest rate is, what the monthly payment's going to be, what your estimated closing costs are, down payment, cash to close, the whole nine.
Great. Thank you so much. Patricia, if someone wants to get a hold of you to see the house in San Jacinto or other properties, what's the best way?
323-365-9909.
You're pretty busy. You got some new listing in San Jacinto. You got other listings, other escrows. Not too busy to help people, though, are you?
Not at all.
I am. No, I'm not. If I can help at all, please reach out at Bill Gross Probate. If you like this, put a comment in if you're watching this online. If you have some suggestions or questions, please feel free to add that. We have a new episode dropping every Friday. And that's it. On behalf of Patricia and Shannon, make today your best day ever. Thank you so much,
That's
everybody.
right. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
guys.